and you're saying this is a joke, but to an objective person, it's not a joke, and there would be enough for probable cause.
It's amazing, though, that, IDF soldiers who are literally bombing schools in Lebanon, Iran, and Gaza, and when they come to the U.S., they're given a warm welcome. Hey, come to the beaches of Miami. Florida loves you, IDF terrorists. But then if a girl in the same state makes a joke about Netanyahu and how Netanyahu's literally bombing all these schools across the Middle East right now, she gets put in prison. I'll be honest, I haven't seen the video I'm about to show you, but I saw it shared so many times on social media that I knew I had to react to. I could have watched it before we went live, but I kind of wanted my live reaction to be the first reaction I have to this because the story is just that insane. Okay, we need to get the first reaction on video. So apparently, a student in Florida was arrested for making a joke about Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on WhatsApp. So she didn't even say this publicly or anything, none like that. She made a joke on WhatsApp, the messaging app, and she was arrested. And now she has a judge who, no shade, there can be plenty, there are, millions of, I don't know how many, but there are a lot of Jewish people that are anti-Zionist. But she does have a Jewish judge who has a track record of, treating career criminals, lifelong career criminals, very, very kindly and letting them off very easily. And this is her judge now. And we'll see exactly what's going on in this case. We'll also compare how the judge speaks to this young lady versus how she speaks to the career criminals that she's presided over the cases of in the past. So let's start off here. We'll take a listen.
Students, where students were discussing an event that was to take place Friday at the Ocean Bank Convocation Center on campus to make their capstone presentations. An FIU police officer read some of the statements in court.
The exact words utilized was, "There's going to be a bomb in the Ocean Bank Convocation Center, and it's going to be at Jonathan's fault," one of the members in the chat.
7 News obtaining some bits of that.
So someone said, Netanyahu, if you can hear me, drop some bonbons for us capstone students in Ocean Bank Convention Center. So if you don't know what they're saying here, this is a viral trend, especially on TikTok, where because for 4 decades or whatever, Netanyahu has said that every country on the face of the earth that he doesn't like must get bombed because they're producing a nuclear weapon or something. There's a viral trend where I believe this is what it's referring to. Say someone really hates their job, doesn't want to go to work tomorrow. They'll say Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a message to Benjamin Netanyahu. The Ralph's grocery store on 123 Street, West 123 Street in whatever city, made up city, is apparently developing a nuclear device with the aim of targeting the state of Israel. This is a message for Benjamin Netanyahu. They'll say something like that. And, it's supposed to be like a tongue-in-cheek joke, like they don't want to go to work tomorrow. So if something happened to their place of business, then they wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow. And they're saying Benjamin Netanyahu, there's highly enriched uranium there or something. I saw a video where a kid was in a gym and his friend was on the machine that he wanted to use behind him in the video. And he's like, Benjamin Netanyahu, The man behind me is developing highly enriched uranium. He's been sitting on this bench press for 35 minutes now. Benjamin Netanyahu, please do something. I think that's the joke that's going on here, but let's keep listening.
Chat. It seemed the student wanted the event rescheduled and wrote, quote, Netanyahu, if you can hear me, drop some bonbons for us capstone students in Ocean Bank Convention Center. Other students wrote they didn't take that text lightly. She later in the chat wrote, quote, I wrote a dumb joke that should not have been made.
I can understand your position, Ms. Corey, and you're saying this is a joke, but to an objective person, it's not a joke, and there would be enough for probable cause. I'm not saying it's enough for beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't know what the state's going to be able to prove at trial, but for purposes of this hearing, I believe there is enough for probable cause.
So, I mean, what are my thoughts on that? Well, look, I mean, in today's day and age, yeah, maybe it's not like smart to joke about school events like that, right? I mean, that is kind of the truth. Like maybe it's, but clearly she was saying Benjamin Netanyahu, like she was doing the meme. Still, maybe not the brightest move because you're just kind of setting yourself up. Now, does she look like a school shooter? Does she look like a Tyler Robinson? No, and Tyler Robinson didn't even do it. So I guess, I don't know. But what's very clear here is that I think people probably got pissed off in the group chat because she was like throwing shade at Netanyahu. It's amazing, though, that, you know, IDF soldiers who are literally bombing schools in Lebanon, Iran, and Gaza, bombing hospitals, schools, universities, homes, whatever it is, maternity wards, churches, mosques. You know, we have like IDF soldiers that are literally doing all of that in multiple countries. And when they come to the U.S., they're given a warm welcome. Hey, come to the beaches of Miami. Florida loves you, IDF terrorists. But then if a girl in the same state makes a joke about Netanyahu and how Netanyahu's literally bombing all these schools across the Middle East right now, she gets put in prison. So if you do it and you're from Israel, right, and you're bombing other countries' schools, then I guess you get a warm welcome. You get a big steak dinner at some Palm Beach restaurant. But if you're a student and you make a joke about Netanyahu doing it or Israeli soldiers doing it, then you get thrown in prison or you get sent to jail, you get arrested. I don't even know what's going on. But contrast this with how the same judge spoke to a career criminal who has a rap sheet longer than you can even imagine. She was very, very, you know, I don't want to say she was like mean to that young student, but she was very cold and very matter of fact and business-like with that young student over what many people online are saying, you know, that was so clearly a joke. Compare that with this black career criminal who has a track record of like burglary, armed assault. I think he has like SA. He has a bunch of crazy ass felonies. So take a listen to this.
Hi, Mr. Booth. How are you?
How you doing, ma'am? Okay, ma'am.
49-year-old Arthur Booth is a career criminal charged with burglary, grand theft,
fleeing arrest, resisting arrest,
and resisting arrest.
You have actually 3 arrest affidavits: reckless driving, damage to property, leaving the scene of a crash with serious injury.
With no serious injury.
I'm sorry, no serious injury.
Okay.
After questioning, Judge Glazer explains the terms of his bond.
The bond on count 1 is $7,500.
The judge notices something familiar about this defendant.
Okay, Mr. Booth, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to Nautilus for middle school?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry to see you here. I always wondered what happened to you, sir.
Oh my goodness.
This is the nicest kid in middle school. He was the best kid in middle school. I used to play football with him and all the kids, and look what happened. So sorry.
Oh my goodness.
The surprise reunion between the two former middle school class.
He was a good kid, you know, burglary, assault, whatever, fleeing violent or fleeing of arrest, you know, whatever it is. He was a good kid. He's such a good kid. You know, what a great guy. He was such a great guy. But you make a joke about Netanyahu? Yeah, you may think it's a joke, but you understand? You understand what you're doing? You understand? Anti-Semitic, threatening words. You're going to jail for a long time, young lady. And apparently she let him off on bond, that man. And at some point or another, he was freed by court order. And then, after 9 years later, they met again in that same courtroom where he again committed another felony. Amazing. Amazing. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.